For those who do not know me, my name is Nick. I am the president of the Borough Supporters Club, who is hosting this event. Basically, just a quick blurb. The Borough Boys we've been around since '07, and our dream is a team in New York City proper.
This inspire the youth to play the game, inspire fans to hopefully love the Cosmos, if not for the first time, again. And both on and off the pitch is an extremely important point for the Cosmos. Having spent time with Eric, Cantona, and Pelé, it's so important for these guys to raise our academy players the right way. Not so that they're the best players on the pitch, but they're also great citizens off the pitch. We want our players in our academy structure from the ground up to give as much back to New York City as hopefully the Cosmos are giving them as part of this dream of theirs to become professional players. All right, so that's what we're trying to do.
Because of course, when you think about the Cosmos and you remember, was Pelé, Beckenbauer, George Rukinaya. I mean, they had probably the best players at that time, and it's difficult to be able to imitate what they had at that time. With that caliber of players. What we're looking for is players that are going to fit our system and that are going to be able to perform the best, to show the best show to everybody that is going to come to the stadium. If they come with a name, great. But we're not going to put a name there just to put a name that is not going to be able to perform or give the fans what they're looking for. And that's what we committed to.
It brings tears to my eyes listening to you guys talk about the academy system, because it's something we're lacking, I think, here in a really serious way. But still, I think we do have elite youth clubs that are either financially out of reach for the hundreds of kids, if not thousands of kids, who are going to be great players, who could be great players someday, but don't find the right fit. And and even if finances isn't a barrier, they don't always find. Gotcha. So I hope you guys are going to be out in neighborhoods and trying to find these kids, because I know that they're there, and I know they're here in New York City, and I'd like to hear, if you have any plans about that.
Being a Brooklynite, playing soccer, playing other sports as well, but in my head, this is why it's an honor for me to be here. Soccer in this country, right, writ large. I remember a time where I just assumed it was a suburban hobby. And it wasn't something that, if you're committed, you were from the inner city, you could do it. Right? I was in Bed-Stuy. Didn't think that it was for me. The fact that we actually have academy structures in the city, and we're getting kids, right, from these communities that one couldn't afford it before. I couldn't when I was a kid. Now our academies are free. We're paying for this. Right? We're spending more money than most companies do on marketing purely for our academy. Right? What you see out there from us as a club and the hype is fine, but the most important thing, the thing we're most committed to doing is getting these kids into our academy, finding these kids, and alleviating the obstacles that I had as a kid to be part of these traveling teams and have this experience at a sport I loved. And the fact that this guy's putting in work every day, the fact that Eric Cantona is going to see our U8s train, right, I think is a joy for me personally to see in this city, because it wasn't there before when we were kids.
The biggest issue with American soccer players is that we have college compared to other places in the world. What are you doing at the academy to smash the perception where you must go play in college soccer in order to be a professional? You must go to college in some way or form to be more intelligent, especially if you're an average player that if you went to Europe or went down south would be a better player. And the final question is, what are you doing to make sure college doesn't have an effect when it comes to your academy?
We want our kids to be able to be educated, to be able to go to college, to get a degree. But we're not preparing players to go to college. We're preparing players to go to a professionally. If they go to college, we know that we have done our job, because if we prepare the player to the highest level, then you know that if they go to college, they will be able to provide, what they're looking for in the college. Because we're doing, again, as Joe said, not only developing them in the soccer side, but also outside the field.